On today's episode, we are going to take a look at Affirm. The stock price is down at 10% for the day. After hours is up a nice 1.5%. But today we're going to take a look at what happened, why the stock is down, and also just a quick overview on the company. So let's get started. So like I mentioned, Affirm Holdings, this is one of those buy now, pay later style companies where you can pretty much, if a big payment, split up through multiple months with either very low interest depending on your credit. So Affirm right now is traded under the Nasdaq as ticker AFRM. This is a recent IPO, but we can see right now for the day was down 10.45% with a market cap of $15.43 billion. So it's not a big company, but not the smallest company we've seen so far. We can see from year to date, right, the stock is down a lot. It kind of when IPO'd in early January, and from its 52-week high, the stock is down 58.42%. So it does seem for right now a lot of hurting for those early investors. All right, so Affirm shares are down after reports that Apple is working with Goldman Sachs to offer buy now, pay later services. And let me just say this, right? Apple has not yet come out to say these are reports. There are talks about this happening. And this is insane. Just based on the reports, the stock price dropped. I can't imagine what would happen if in a few weeks Apple comes out and says, hey, we are coming out with this product. How would that affect Affirm stock price? And this is not the first financial product that Apple has, right? They have the Apple credit card right now. They also have Apple Wallet, which just allows you to kind of have a lot of your payments inside there. One thing I was wondering is if this paid buy now, pay later type concept is going to require for the user or the consumer to have their Apple card. And here, taking a look at this article, it says that the new offering is not linked to the Apple card and does not require the use of one. Again, this is just reporting. It hasn't been confirmed by Apple at the moment. So obviously competition by the biggest company out right now, it is going to take a toll on something this small, a company this small. But let's try to find out what Affirm does. And is this the only market that they hit? So if we go to affirm.com, we can kind of see all the different products that they do. Obviously, the main one is the buy now, pay later. But before we go any further, guys, let's take a quick listen to today's sponsor. And also check the comments below. I have the top 4 stocks that I'm planning on buying this week. Make sure to check out that video as well. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services the Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the Stock Advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now onto today's video. So you can see the main product Affirm has is this buy now, pay later. They have a lot of partnerships with some big companies. For example, Peloton e-commerce is one of them, Adidas, Walmart, to name some of them, right? So if you go check out in any of these stores, you're going to see a firm selection when you want to purchase this. If we also take a look at, they have other products like a online savings account, which has higher interest rates. Some people that maybe don't want to keep their money on your traditional banking and want to get higher interest rates could go with Affirm Save. Then they have your business, right? And this is, let's say you're trying to open up an e-commerce. Let's say you have a store online or somewhere. You can use the flexible payment and kind of incorporate Affirm into your store. And Affirm mentions that, hey, people who have the ability to break down their payments over some time are more likely to say yes. And obviously that makes sense. Who would want to spend like $1,000 in 1 month at one time or pay $100 for the next X amount of months? So obviously it helps out a lot of e-commerce stores as well. And this is the products that they have. If we take a look at their most recent earnings for May 10th of 2021, which was their third quarter results, they showed 83% on gross merchandise volume. As a fintech company, this is probably the best metric you want to take a look at. The other thing I want to talk about is they kind of activated shop payment a partnership with Shopify. And I think this is a really, really big deal, right? I think Shopify is becoming one of the biggest, it is the second largest e-commerce marketplace right now. And here you can see they kind of talk about it in June 10th of 2021, where they say they're making big steps and Shop Pay installments is exclusively powered by Affirm and is available to all eligible Shopify merchants in the United States. I think that is a huge move, and definitely one that kind of creates a form of moat, I want to say, or some form of defense system for companies like Apple Pay right now, for Apple with this pay now, buy later system, especially when you have a big partnership with Shopify. So we can see Affirm definitely is moving into other products. I want to say another one that Affirm is doing is on May 3rd, they completed their acquisition of Returnly. And Returnly, this allows, if you own a business, it's kind of a service of how consumers return your products if they need a return. And this is another service for businesses, right? So it seems Affirm is kind of making way and becoming more of a solutions for a lot of e-commerce stores. So I really like that. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably throwing it out the blue, and I don't know if they own any position, but I can see somewhere in the future a company like Shopify or some of the e-commerce giants might end up purchasing a company like Affirm. Now, I'm not saying they would happen, but I believe there is a small chance, especially with this Returnly, acquisition. They're kind of building that product, their catalog and products for business solutions, which I think is a great move. Now, if we take a quick look at fundamentals, Affirm is expected to grow 22.8% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. Unfortunately, the company is not profitable right now. They're not positive in cash flow from operations. If we take a look at their balance sheet, I honestly wish it was a little bit better. They have $1.6 billion in cash and short-term investments and about $2 billion in debt. I wish they weren't leveraged at right now. The last thing I want to see is leverage, and this is probably one of my biggest red flags for the company, especially since they're not profitable yet and not positive in cash flow from operations. Now, the final thing I want to take a look at is just some metrics. First, taking a look at technicals, obviously Affirm is not going to be overextended from its moving averages. It's pretty much been in a downturn since it IPO'd, unfortunately. So right now, I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated, but we can see after days like today, stock prices can continue to go down. So my overall thoughts on Affirm, right? I mean, it definitely sucks that Apple is coming into the play, but I don't think it's a 10% drop is insane, right? Especially with that strong partnership of Spotify and that recent acquisition of Returnly. It seems like Affirm is not just a buy now, pay later type company. They are trying to improve themselves and become more than a become more than just a one-hit product. So, I mean, at the moment, I don't think I am purchasing Affirm, but I am going to put it on my watch list and keep an eye on it and keep an eye on some more news, right? I could see if they continue to do some more acquisitions or try to expand their products, it can definitely be a pretty cool fintech company. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.